What up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Thank you for tuning back into the Way for the Fame channel. Over the next week, we are going to drive my beloved Forever K Blueberry Lemon on a 2,000 plus mile road trip. Yes, you heard that correctly. Over 2,000 miles. We're going to go from New York to Washington, Washington to Raleigh, Raleigh back up to Virginia. We're going to go to Christiansburg to visit Duncan Imports. And then from there, we're going to drive to Chattanooga, stop at Battles Digital, and then finally make our first major stop at Atlanta. In Atlanta, I'm really just going to be chilling for a couple of days, eating a bunch of lemon pepper wings. But the main thing we're going to do there is go to Clean Culture. It's going to be my first ever car event being a vendor. So if we take a step inside the Mira walkthrough, you'll find shift knobs, up garage towels. We got a bunch of stickers I'll be giving out to people. Tons of JDM goodies, license plates, glow plates. I got a table, I got a sign, because tomorrow's actually our first major stop, I guess you could say, and that's going to be at the Capital K Car Club. Over there, they do an annual barbecue. I wasn't able to make it to the first one or even the second one. I don't know if it's the second or third one, but I wasn't able to go last year, and I wanted to make sure that if I was going to drive 5 hours to Baltimore in a car that is shaped like a postman vehicle, I wanted to make it as worth it as possible. That's when I started looking for other events in the southern East Coast, because in my perfect world, I would drive this all the way to Miami. I think that's one of my biggest goals. I would love to drive this all the way to Miami. I'm a huge Miami Dolphins fan. I would love to go to the stadium, open this up, tailgate, not even sell JDM goodies, but just, I don't know, have drinks or glizzies or whatever the case may be. That's like my main goal. If I can successfully do that, then I want to say my bigger goal is drive it all the way to California, take maybe the southern route, the same route I took on my cappuccino, stop in Texas, maybe even drive it back from California and then go the north way. So stop by Milwaukee, check out Tiki Bunny Imports, do a bunch of stuff like that. So that's what my super big picture goal is. But I feel like the Mira walkthrough, although turbo swapped, isn't ready yet. And the reason I say that is, first and foremost, this has a front end swap. It's not supposed to look like a Murgino in the front. So that's one thing. Secondly, it is turbo engine swap from a Mira TRXX. And because of that, because it's not supposed to be turbo, there's no hood scoop. So one of my biggest fears is this getting heat soaked. I'm happy that it's only like 80 degrees out today. And I feel like during a July road trip, I'm not sure if I want to drive there with no hood scoop. So I should have planned a little better and then maybe just bought one. I'm going to fix this hood. That's why it's sticker bomb right now. So I wouldn't even mind just drilling it out, cutting it, adding the hood scoop. And then I just feel a lot more comfortable doing such a long distance in a K car. And speaking of K car, let me show you what I'm about to drive 2,000 miles. So this is a Daihatsu Mira walkthrough. Like I mentioned earlier, it's engine swapped. So it's now a 4-cylinder 660cc turbo. It now has a 4-speed automatic transmission, which is a huge pro. In here, pretty standard. I mean, I have some additional weight because we built some boxes. I got some speakers under there. I got both seats reupholstered. I also cut this window, opened that for a second. I took the dash out of a TRXX. There's a lot of just cosmetic stuff, but doubled in. Nice and clean, checkered floors. If you don't know, tri-spokes go on everything that I own. So these are 165 5514 Racy Ultras. It has Land Rover Defender taillights. Shout out to Dadbot Garage for that. We cut out the muffler and resonator, so it sounds really good. And that's pretty much it. We're hoping for a successful, safe road trip. I got about 19 hours till I get to Atlanta. And then I think when I get there, I'm going to speed back. But we also did power windows, fog lights, boost gauge, Wait for the Fame steering wheel. Let me give it a cold start so you guys can hear how amazing this sounds. And then I'll pop these windows open. I wouldn't say I have any financial goals. I definitely want to do a very detailed expense spreadsheet. How much is it going to cost for every hotel that I stay in? How much money am I going to make at Capital K Car Club? How much money am I going to make at the show? I'm hoping that I obviously break even at the bare minimum. But a lot of this stuff is just creating content, networking with people. For example, like my girlfriend video, a lot of people asked me if it was a great idea. I personally think that Nicholas, it was an amazing idea. I had a lot of fun. I would do it again. But for the business, I think I spent around $550. And I think that video maybe generated me 30. So as far as a business goes, it wasn't the smartest video, but you got to take those risks. You got to take those gambles. So if you haven't watched that video, check out me renting a girlfriend in Japan. So whenever I go on these road trips, there's one thing that people always ask me to track, and I do a terrible job doing it. But for this video, I'm actually very curious. I want to know what my MPGs are going to be like. So that's where we're at currently. I'm about to fill it up with some good old 93. I'm at about a half a tank, so I'm assuming 13 bucks. Let's see if I'm spot on. All right, not even that. Surprisingly, this gets pretty decent MPGs, but I also don't drive it as hard. And I'm definitely not going to be driving it hard during this trip. Hence why I'm leaving a whole day early. The car meet is tomorrow. I think most people who live around the New York area are going to leave tomorrow. So our first stop is 234 miles away, 4 hours and 40 minutes, and that's actually to the movie theaters. I've been dying to watch the movie Sinners. It came out while I was in Japan, so I didn't have an opportunity to see it. And then when I got to New York, all the theaters were pretty much done showing the movie. So that's where we're gonna go first. I'm obviously not gonna drive 4 hours and 40 minutes straight. I'll probably stop at a rest stop maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes in. So I'm on flatline right now. And I feel like at this speed, the Mira walkthrough is chilling. It's only at 3,000 RPM. Yes, I think I can do this. This isn't foot all the way down either, but yes, I feel like I could be here. But I don't know, it doesn't sound as good. And then yes, I can put my foot all the way down. Get up to here as well, and I'm only at 5,000, which isn't terrible, but you know, maybe at some points when it's darker out, maybe it's cooler outside, I'll do it. But for me, I feel like 50 miles per hour is fine. Again, I'm in no rush, which is always the biggest thing if you're ever going to do a K road trip. You need to come to the realization that these are not road trip vehicles. Can they do it? Yes. You just have to be patient. You have to understand that when you're going uphill and you have a car that maybe doesn't have too much power and you see your speed decreasing, just take your foot off the gas. Don't go like this and stay at 7,000 for a long period of time, because honestly, that was really the Achilles heel of the Tri. We had too much weight, we were pushing it too hard, and I think that, along with the fact that it was a 25-year-old car, was really what ended up blowing my head gasket. But now let me put a podcast on, let me start driving. Update, we are currently making it over to Delaware. I've drove 212 kilometers. Temperature gauge has been fine. I am now also out of gas. Comfortability wise, for such a long drive, because it's a walkthrough, I can fully man spread like this. You know, there isn't a seat next to me. There isn't really an armrest, which I would say is a con. But I would say just because I'm able to sit like this and do all of that, it isn't uncomfortable. I feel like I'm just sitting in a chair. Like, not a car seat. I feel like I'm sitting in a chair for a long period of time. This isn't a proper rest stop where I see myself staying here for a long period of time, but whenever I get gas, I just want this thing to breathe. So let's leave this open while I pump some gas. So I just did the math, and it's 132 miles that I just drove on a full tank. Gas is pretty expensive, $4.50. I think it should, I think it should be stopping any second now. So I have about a 6-gallon tank. Let's divide that. Let's say I got a 6.5. I just did the math. I'm getting 20 miles per gallon. Best case scenario, I'm getting 22. Realistic case scenario, I'm getting around like 19. This is gonna be a very expensive trip. What was that just now? $28 for every 2 hours? I'm about to spend like $600 just on fuel. Not including hotels or food or anything. Wow. I've driven K cars far, and you know, they're not the most fuel efficient, but I don't think I've driven anything this bad. 20? I'm in shock right now. I drove about 2 hours and 30 minutes. And I got 20 miles to the gallon. Update. I am now leaving the movies. I just went to see Sinners. It came out while I was in Japan, and unfortunately they don't show it over there. And I've been hearing over and over that it was a 10 out of 10 movie. And I'll give it a solid, I'll give it a 9. I think that could have been better. Maybe I went into it with too high of expectations. If you've seen Sinners, comment below what you think about it. But now we're going to walk back to the Mira walkthrough. I made a huge mistake doing this road trip, guys. But luckily, Zukmi is going to help me fix it. While I was driving here, while we did the successful 5 hours and over 300, maybe 400 miles, I got non-stop people giving me a thumbs up, taking videos of the car. And for the longest, I wanted to put a huge WBTF here. And I don't even have an excuse. I can't even tell you guys like, oh, I didn't do it because XYZ. In a way, I didn't do it because I felt like it was an additional money being spent. And I don't know if I'm going to paint this car, whatever the case may be. At this point, honestly, I'm kind of really digging this. I think what I'm just going to do is order a hood scoop. I might even do that today. Order a hood scoop, get that installed. And then I might just let it rock like this. I really don't hate this. Maybe I just fill it up to here, put some more of the Patreon homie stickers. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I think what I'm going to do is go to Zukmi. I'm going to maybe put follow the adventure at WayBeforeTheFame here. Just something. I got to have some type of tag. I want it on the left side because I'm always on the right side of the highway. So I feel like just having like a QR code or like, it's just, I'm very disappointed in myself. I can't believe I'm driving all the way to Atlanta. And I've owned the car for this long, honestly, and there's no logos. Nothing. And I'm not Mr. Logo, so it's not very shocking. But I could have put WBTF here. I've been wanting to do that forever. Even in my white mirror walk, I'll show you guys a photo. I had WBTF. I'm most likely going to do a lot of my driving during the day. But this night boost weather, if I cut the AC off, hitting our 10 pounds. Walkthrough wants to giddy up and go. Giddy up and go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We have just made it to the car meet. Couple cars so far. Waiting on more homies to pull up. From Japan to Maryland. You guys remember this Vamos? We put wheels on it, drove it around Nagoya. This is the one that I was gonna get instead of my Tri. It's currently in America. Got the roof rack. Pretty cool. Got the fire truck here. I'm gonna walk around and check out some more cars later. Let me set up shop. But I know I do a terrible job at recording while vending, but during this trip, I was self-aware enough to realize that, so I'm gonna record some cars. I'm gonna set up shop. Hopefully the weather stays like this too, where it's not too sunny. Sadly, this is the only photo I got of my table while I was vending. You can see my nice little setup. I got my K's Away shirts, plates. I got my table looking very legit. So legit that I wasn't really able to walk around. I did walk around for at least like 10 minutes. And I was going to install that into this video. But I figured Capital K Club should have its own. So stay tuned for tomorrow's video. It's going to be like, honestly, a one take of me walking around for the 12 minutes that I was able to be free. But let's continue this video. It was still a great outcome. It was still so much fun. I'll let the video speak for itself. Just finished closing up shop. Shout out to Rob and Lulu for helping me out. What I need to do next time, everything is a learning process. Every single meet we go to, we're going to continue to learn and get better. What I learned from this one is I had a lot of people stop at the table and buy things, and it was continuous non-stop lines, and that was amazing. Great for my pockets. Not good for content though. I didn't have enough time to walk around. I didn't have enough time to, you know, chop it up with everybody. There's people who want to talk to me. I had to kind of talk to them quickly because there was someone at the table and they need to know the prices. So what I need to do next is price all my items out. The crazy thing is I actually have a label maker. I just didn't use it. And then when I tried to use it, it kept saying that it was jammed. So that's what I need to do for my next event, which is going to be I guess technically tomorrow, but in Atlanta. I'm definitely gonna have my label maker out. I'm gonna have everything written down. That way I'll be able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and chop it up with people. If I need to walk away, someone I trust can work the table. They know all the prices. But I miss some of the cars over here. Damn. The Miata fanboy in me always wanted to graduate and get an MR2. Especially T-top. This one right here with the Workmeisters. British Racing Green. Golly, carbon fiber lip. Look at those lug nuts. You know I'm a sucker for attention to detail. MR2 seats. Fire extinguisher. This is a beautiful car. I want mine to have like the inlets here on both sides. Wow. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna head out. Say goodbye to everybody. I got about 5 hours until I get to my next stop. And then we'll end the video here. If not, enjoy this extra footage. Shout out to the Dolphins. And the Mira walkthrough, let's continue to be great. Next stop is 5 hours and 2 minutes away. In K-car terms, that means about 7 hours away. One of the many flaws about driving the Mira walkthrough for such a long distance is that my mirrors are pretty slutty, aka they're loose, and they don't have the strength with the wind pushing them for hours, and they both just end up looking like this. Which, as you can see, there's nothing. I don't know what's going on. I can't change lanes. I don't have a window here to help me either. And this one, luckily, I can just put my window down and adjust, but I can also just see on that side. This is the 3rd time I'm filling up. Let's see if maybe I did bad math the first time. And I'm actually getting 25 miles per gallon. I'm essentially empty, so I'm gonna get another 6-ish gallons, maybe 6.2. All right, we didn't quite make it to 6. I think all this driving is really getting to me because I don't even remember how many kilometers I had for me to even think I can do math right now. But we have another 3 hours till we get to our next stop. Let's start the Mira walkthrough. Continuing to still hold us down. You know what's crazy about this fill up? This is exactly 2 hours later from when I last got gas. So it's almost like every 2 hours I'm gonna need to fill up. What I'm gonna do this time around is restart my kilometers because I am curious. But I mean, I have to be getting 20 miles per gallon. I have to. Also was driving a lot faster. I feel more confident in the Mira walkthrough. Also have my hood popped, as you can see, let it breathe off a little bit. But I'm a lot more confident. I was doing, I want to say 60 miles per hour, 85% of my drive here. When I left the car meet, my estimated ETA was 8:07. It's 10:37 right now. And we just made it. And I have to tell you some things that you guys will see in the next video, but there's some major cons in driving this guy. And for one, I give you a sneak peek. It's like a microwave in here. I am sweating up a storm. But thank you guys for watching. Catch you on the next one. Road to 42K, 50K, Japan very soon. Peace.
Remember the name. This is way before the fame.